In a world often obsessed with the quick rewards of instant gratification, the Jewish people stand apart, guided by a financial mindset shaped over thousands of years. One built not on the rush to acquire, but on the steady growth of wisdom, patience, and calculated risk. Their philosophy teaches that true wealth is not merely monetary, it is the accumulation of knowledge, values, and investments that grow over time, sustaining not just individuals, but communities and generations. The key to this mindset lies in their unwavering commitment to smart investments, long-term profits, and an understanding that prosperity is a gradual, patient pursuit. Consider the story of a Jewish family, scattered by time and circumstance, yet bound by the same timeless principles passed down through generations. From the marketplaces of ancient Jerusalem to the bustling financial districts of modern New York, one can trace the same patterns of thought, decisions, and actions that have led to the success of countless Jewish entrepreneurs. Their story is not simply about financial acumen, but about the profound understanding of risk, patience, and the power of community. What makes the Jewish approach to finance unique is its deep-seated connection to values that permeate every aspect of life. For them, money is not an end, but a means, a tool that enables them to accomplish greater goals: family, education, community, and legacy. To them, a smart investment is one that doesn't just increase wealth, but fosters something much more enduring. It is an investment that strengthens the ties between individuals, communities, and generations, creating a lasting impact that transcends financial gain. In every successful Jewish business venture, there is a deeper story, the story of community building, of passing on wisdom, and of investing in relationships that will continue to bear fruit long after the initial investment. When you think of Jewish financial success, it is often tied to an ability to navigate change. From the diaspora to the ever-changing tides of global markets, Jewish individuals have learned to adapt and thrive in environments where others might falter. Their approach involves risk, yes, but calculated risk. Risks that are not taken lightly, but are assessed, mitigated, and balanced by a solid understanding of the environment, the players, and the potential returns. This is a mindset built on long-term thinking, where the goal is not to strike gold overnight, but to create the foundation for lasting success. Take, for example, the way the Jewish people have approached education. There is a deep-seated belief that knowledge is the greatest asset. The story of the Talmudic scholar is one that resonates deeply in their culture. These scholars were not just teachers, but were also businessmen who understood the importance of investing in the intellectual capital of their communities. Their wisdom was a currency more valuable than gold, for it ensured the survival, growth, and prosperity of their people. In the same way, the Jewish financial mindset emphasizes the importance of investing in one's education, knowledge, and skills, viewing these as long-term investments that pay dividends for years to come. But even with this emphasis on knowledge and patience, the Jewish financial mindset is not passive. It is active, entrepreneurial, and adaptable. Jewish businessmen have long understood that one must be proactive in seeking opportunities and crafting new paths. They don't wait for luck to come to them. They go out and create their own luck, forging alliances, seeking out opportunities, and being prepared to act when the right moment comes. This approach is epitomized by the concept of tzedakah, or charity, which is not just an act of giving, but an investment in the future of others. The practice of giving, whether to individuals or to larger causes, creates a cycle of abundance, where each act of generosity enriches not just the recipient, but also the giver. This concept of generosity is central to the Jewish financial mindset. It is not merely about accumulating wealth for one's own benefit. It is about understanding that wealth is meant to be shared. It is a belief in the abundance of the world and the idea that by sharing what we have, we create more for everyone. The Jewish people have long recognized that generosity brings rewards that extend beyond the material. Giving opens doors, creates opportunities, and strengthens relationships. It's an investment that in turn enriches the giver as much as the recipient. For the Jewish community, financial success is not measured solely by the amount of money one possesses, but by the impact one makes. A true measure of success is the legacy left behind, the lessons shared, the communities built, and the generations empowered to build upon the foundations laid. This is the true spirit of smart investing. Investing not only in stocks, bonds, and businesses, but in people, relationships, and values that endure. As you reflect on this approach to financial thinking, ask yourself, what does wealth mean to you? Is it about accumulating assets, or is it about building something that will outlast you, something that can be passed down to those who come after you? In the Jewish tradition, financial wisdom is not just a personal pursuit, it is a communal one. When you invest wisely, you create wealth not only for yourself, but for those around you, ensuring that the cycle of prosperity continues for generations to come.
As you move through life, making decisions about money, remember that Jewish financial philosophy offers a powerful blueprint for how to navigate not just the challenges of wealth building, but also the broader aspects of life that often intersect with it. The Jewish mindset teaches that the journey toward financial success is intertwined with character, integrity, and moral responsibility. Wealth is a reflection of one's actions in the world and should be used to elevate others as much as it elevates oneself. At the heart of Jewish financial thinking is the recognition that success is not simply a product of individual effort. It is a communal pursuit, one that thrives when shared, supported, and nurtured by those around you. This idea is evident in the concept of Knesset, the community gathering, where decisions regarding finances, charity, and resource allocation are often made collectively. By acting as a unit, Jewish communities have weathered countless storms, finding stability and prosperity in times of hardship through mutual support and collaboration. This collective approach to financial success manifests in numerous ways. For example, Jewish families often operate businesses that are passed down from one generation to the next, not as mere profit-making ventures, but as a way of maintaining family heritage, passing on knowledge, and ensuring that future generations are equipped with the tools necessary to build upon what came before them. When you look at a family business in the Jewish tradition, you see not only a financial asset, but a living testament to values that have been cultivated over decades. But the essence of Jewish financial philosophy lies not just in passing on wealth, but in teaching others to use wealth wisely. In Jewish communities, financial literacy is taught from a young age, not just in schools, but in homes where children learn the value of saving, investing, and giving. The value of money is taught alongside the value of wisdom, ethics, and hard work, ensuring that the next generation is not only financially successful, but also ethically grounded. The principles of smart investment are also deeply rooted in Jewish law and philosophy. For instance, the concept of Shemitah, the sabbatical year, teaches the importance of taking a break from work and allowing the land to rest, letting the cycle of labor and harvest take a natural, balanced course. This period of rest reminds individuals that life cannot be reduced to work and production alone. It also emphasizes the need for long-term thinking, recognizing that sometimes, to grow, we must step back, reflect, and allow time for things to naturally unfold. This teaches the importance of patience, foresight, and strategic planning, rather than rushing toward the next big win. Another principle deeply embedded in Jewish thinking is the concept of Hasgacha Pratis, divine providence, which teaches that every aspect of life is interconnected and guided by a higher plan. While Jewish individuals are taught to work diligently and invest wisely, they also recognize that there is a higher force at work in their lives. This recognition leads to a deep sense of gratitude and humility, reminding them that financial success is not simply the result of one's efforts, but part of a broader divine tapestry. This mindset, one that combines action with reflection, knowledge with wisdom, and work with rest, creates a financial philosophy that is holistic. It's not just about increasing profits or acquiring material wealth. It's about creating a balanced life where financial success supports not only one's own well-being, but the well-being of the community and future generations. It's about investing in the right things: knowledge, relationships, values, and opportunities that contribute to long-term growth. Think about the life of an individual with this mindset. They may start small, making careful, calculated investments, often in areas that others might overlook. They might choose to invest in real estate, not simply as a financial asset, but as a way to create a home, a space where future generations can grow. They might start a business, not merely for profit, but as a way to build a network, to contribute to the community, and to give back to those in need. The wealth they accumulate is not just for themselves, but for their families, their communities, and their world. Every investment they make is a step toward building something lasting, something of meaning. But the journey is not without its challenges. There will be setbacks, periods of doubt, and times when the market shifts unpredictably. Yet through it all, the Jewish financial mindset remains steadfast. The key to long-term success, as Jewish thinkers have long recognized, is not avoiding failure, but learning from it. Every failure is an opportunity to grow, to refine one's approach, and to become wiser in the next endeavor. Failure is seen not as a setback, but as a lesson, something that helps one build resilience and develop the skills needed to navigate the future. It is in this way that Jewish financial philosophy differs from the often short-sighted, results-driven approach seen in many parts of the world. For the Jewish people, true wealth is not simply about accumulating assets, but about accumulating wisdom. It is about creating a legacy that will last long after the money has been spent. It is about creating systems and networks that support the future, ensuring that each new generation has the tools, the knowledge, and the values necessary to continue the cycle of growth and prosperity. As you reflect on this, ask yourself, how can you apply the principles of the Jewish financial mindset to your own life? How can you build wealth not just for yourself, but for your family, your community, and your legacy? What can you invest in today that will create a lasting impact for tomorrow?
The story of Jewish financial wisdom is, at its core, a story of understanding that wealth is not merely a commodity, it is a responsibility. The Jewish people have long recognized that money, like any resource, carries with it the power to either elevate or diminish. And it is not just about how one acquires wealth, but how one uses it once it is gained. The true test of success is not in the accumulation of riches, but in their careful, ethical use to improve lives and create opportunities for others. One of the cornerstones of Jewish financial thinking is the idea of tzedakah, a word that is often translated as charity, but in its true sense encompasses much more. Tzedakah is the act of giving not just from abundance, but from a sense of duty and justice. It is the belief that wealth must be shared, and that giving is an integral part of the financial cycle. But it is not just about handing over money, it's about using one's financial resources to create systems of support, education, and empowerment for others. When you give with a mindset of tzedakah, you are not simply providing temporary relief. You are building a foundation for others to rise, to grow, and to succeed in their own right. In the Jewish tradition, giving is seen as a fundamental aspect of financial success because it fosters a deep sense of interconnectedness within the community. When individuals give, they strengthen the social fabric
creating a network of support that enhances the prosperity of everyone. Giving in this way becomes an investment, not just in individuals, but in the larger community. And as the saying goes, what you put out into the world comes back to you in ways you may never expect. In the world of Jewish finance, generosity is considered an investment that yields returns that go far beyond the material. However, it's important to note that Jewish financial thinking does not encourage reckless generosity. The concept of tzedakah comes with the understanding that one must give wisely, strategically, and sustainably. It's about ensuring that your generosity creates lasting change rather than simply providing short-term relief. The Jewish way of giving is intentional. It seeks to empower rather than enable, to uplift rather than simply satisfy immediate needs. In this way, the act of giving aligns with the principles of smart investment. It is about long-term impact, not short-term gratification. Similarly, the Jewish approach to money management emphasizes prudence and discipline. Money, like any other tool, can be wielded for good or ill, and Jewish thinking encourages individuals to approach their finances with wisdom and foresight. One principle that is often taught is the importance of bitachon, trust. Trust in this context means trusting in the process of wealth creation and the wisdom of long-term thinking. Trusting that the investments you make today, if done with patience and responsibility, will bear fruit tomorrow. There is also the deeply ingrained principle of hesed, or loving kindness, which teaches the importance of caring for others even in the midst of financial success. While the pursuit of financial gain is seen as important, it is always balanced by the need to care for those who are less fortunate. The Jewish financial mindset insists that financial success must never be a reason for arrogance or detachment, but should always be accompanied by a sense of responsibility to those who are struggling. This creates a holistic view of wealth, one that sees it not as a personal triumph, but as a communal tool for good. As you reflect on these principles, consider how they might shape your own approach to wealth building. Are you approaching your finances with an eye toward long-term success, or are you chasing quick returns that may leave you unbalanced in the future? How can you integrate the values of responsibility, community, and generosity into your own financial practices? The Jewish financial mindset is not just about achieving individual success. It's about building systems, values, and relationships that lead to lasting prosperity for oneself and for others. It's a mindset that encourages looking beyond the individual and seeing wealth as a resource to be shared, invested in, and used to create a better, more connected world. Ultimately, the Jewish financial philosophy teaches that true wealth is a product of not only how much one can accumulate, but how much one can give back. It's a recognition that financial success is not an end, but a means to a greater purpose, to build, to sustain, and to leave a legacy that will outlast the individual. Every decision, every investment, every act of generosity is a building block in this larger project of collective success. The final lesson that emerges from the Jewish financial mindset is the importance of legacy. It's not just about what you accumulate in your lifetime, but what you pass down to the next generation. The greatest wealth is that which is shared and perpetuated through the lives and actions of those who follow. So as you move forward in your own financial journey, think about the kind of legacy you want to leave. Ask yourself how your actions today can create opportunities for tomorrow, how your investments, both financial and personal, can create lasting value for those around you, and how you can use your wealth to build a future where everyone has the chance to thrive. True success lies not in the wealth itself, but in how that wealth is used. The Jewish financial mindset reminds us that we are all stewards of the resources we are given, and that our greatest responsibility is not to hoard or amass wealth for its own sake, but to use it wisely, strategically, and generously to create a better world.
As you reflect on these principles, consider the inevitable challenges that come with managing wealth. The Jewish financial mindset teaches that setbacks and failures are not only inevitable, but essential to the process of growth. It is through challenges that resilience is built, and it is through failures that we gain the wisdom to make better decisions in the future. This understanding of failure is deeply embedded in the Jewish philosophy of life. In fact, some of the greatest successes in Jewish history came not in spite of failure, but because of it. The key, according to Jewish thinking, is to embrace failure not as something to fear, but as an opportunity to learn and evolve. The story of the Jewish people is, after all, a story of resilience in the face of adversity. Through centuries of exile, persecution, and hardship, they have built financial empires, sustained businesses, and created lasting legacies, not despite their challenges, but because they knew how to navigate them with intelligence and grace. Consider the story of the Jewish banking family, the Rothschilds. Their fortune wasn't built on a single lucky investment, it was the result of calculated risks, wisdom passed down through generations, and a deep understanding of the importance of long-term thinking. Even when setbacks occurred, such as political instability or economic downturns, they were able to bounce back by staying true to the principles of investing wisely, maintaining ethical business practices, and supporting the community. The Rothschilds exemplify what is often called chutzpah, a kind of boldness or audacity. It is not reckless or impulsive, rather it is the boldness to take calculated risks, to invest in long-term growth, and to challenge the status quo in the pursuit of greater success. It is the willingness to learn from failure, adapt, and ultimately emerge stronger. For the Jewish financial mind, chutzpah is the ability to take the risks necessary for growth, but with the understanding that every risk is part of a larger plan. Another fundamental element in Jewish financial philosophy is the importance of diversification. The idea is simple yet profound. Do not put all your eggs in one basket. This principle of spreading investments across different sectors and markets ensures that no matter how the tides change, the foundation remains strong. Whether it's investing in real estate, businesses, stocks, or bonds, Jewish thinking encourages diversification as a strategy to mitigate risk and ensure long-term stability. This isn't just about financial assets either. It extends to the diversification of knowledge, experiences, and relationships. This holistic approach to diversification helps explain the resilience of Jewish communities across time and geography. The ability to adapt to changing environments and diversify their resources, be it financial, intellectual, or social, has been a key factor in their success. In a rapidly changing world, diversification allows for flexibility and adaptability. It ensures that individuals, families, and communities are not overly reliant on one source of income, but can draw from a variety of resources to thrive. In your own financial journey, ask yourself, how diversified is your approach to wealth? Are you relying too heavily on one stream of income or a single investment? Are you considering the long-term impact of your decisions and ensuring that your financial strategies are resilient enough to weather unforeseen challenges? The Jewish mindset offers an answer. Seek balance, adaptability, and diversification, whether you're managing your personal finances or navigating larger business decisions. Additionally, Jewish financial thinking places heavy emphasis on the importance of education. It is no coincidence that education is one of the most prized values in Jewish culture. The Talmud, a central text in Jewish scholarship, is filled with insights about wealth, work, and the ethics of business. This dedication to lifelong learning ensures that Jewish individuals and families remain competitive, wise, and adaptable in the ever-changing financial world. When you invest in your education, you are not just acquiring skills for a job, but for life. The wisdom and knowledge gained will pay dividends in ways that money alone cannot. Whether through formal schooling, self-education, or mentorship, the pursuit of knowledge is seen as an investment that never depreciates. Education is the key to navigating both the complexities of financial markets and the challenges of life itself. Moreover, Jewish philosophy teaches that wealth is intimately linked to ethical conduct. Business practices are not just about the numbers on a spreadsheet, but about the relationships that are built and the way individuals treat others. Ethics are woven into every transaction, every negotiation, and every decision. The principle of honesty is paramount, whether in dealings with clients, customers, or fellow business people. This ethical framework is rooted in the concept of derech eretz, a term which means the way of the land. It encompasses the idea of treating others with respect, fairness, and integrity. It's about doing business in a way that fosters trust and ensures long-term success. For Jewish financial thinkers, wealth is not something to be hoarded or wielded recklessly. It is a resource that must be handled with care, wisdom, and above all, ethical responsibility. This ethical foundation is perhaps the most crucial aspect of Jewish financial thinking. It is not enough to simply accumulate wealth. True success lies in how that wealth is used, in how it benefits not only the individual, but the community at large. It is about creating a legacy of generosity, kindness, and respect that lasts long after the financial gains have been made. So, as you continue on your own financial path, consider how you can integrate the lessons of the Jewish financial mindset into your own life. How can you build wealth that is not just about acquiring assets, but about leaving a meaningful legacy? How can you ensure that your financial decisions are rooted in ethical behavior, responsible risk-taking, and a commitment to the long-term good of your community? In the end, the Jewish financial mindset is not just about making money. It is about building something much larger, a legacy of wisdom, integrity, and generosity that transcends wealth and endures through generations.
As you delve deeper into the practices of Jewish financial thinking, one recurring theme becomes abundantly clear. Financial freedom is not simply the absence of debt or the accumulation of wealth. It is the ability to live life according to your own values and principles. Jewish thinkers emphasize that true freedom comes from having the resources to create the life you want, not just for yourself, but for your community and your future generations. It's a freedom that comes from the ability to make decisions based on your beliefs without being beholden to outside pressures or circumstances. In the Jewish tradition, financial freedom is seen not as an isolated achievement, but as part of a broader spiritual and moral journey. It is about aligning your financial decisions with your ethical beliefs and using your wealth to support a higher purpose. It's about recognizing that prosperity isn't just about what you can own, but about how you use what you have to serve others and to create a world that reflects your values. This concept of financial freedom extends to the idea of self-sufficiency. The Jewish people have long valued the ability to stand on their own feet, to create businesses, to invest in education, and to build wealth that allows them to maintain their independence. Self-sufficiency is not just about economic independence, it is about empowerment. It is about having the knowledge, resources, and confidence to pursue your dreams without relying on others to dictate your path. This mindset of self-sufficiency is especially evident in Jewish entrepreneurship. From early days of trade and craftsmanship to modern-day ventures in technology, finance, and real estate, Jewish individuals have continuously demonstrated an entrepreneurial spirit coupled with an unwavering commitment to their values. The Jewish approach to entrepreneurship is not about seeking out the fastest route to financial success. It's about building sustainable, ethical businesses that can stand the test of time. But even in the world of business, the principles of community and support remain central. Jewish entrepreneurs often rely on a network of like-minded individuals, mentors, and supporters, recognizing that business success is rarely achieved in isolation. Instead, it is the result of collaborative efforts, shared wisdom, and a collective commitment to mutual growth. The strength of the Jewish entrepreneurial community lies not just in individual talent, but in the way they come together, pooling their resources, ideas, and networks to help each other succeed. In this sense, financial freedom is not a solitary goal. It is instead a communal pursuit. When one person in a Jewish community succeeds, that success benefits the community as a whole. This reflects the belief that financial prosperity is not a finite resource, but something that grows when shared. The Jewish concept of nachas, the pride and joy in the success of others, is the heart of this communal mindset. When you succeed, the entire community celebrates with you, knowing that your success will contribute to the greater good. This communal approach is reinforced by the principle of gemilat chasadim, or acts of kindness. In Jewish financial thinking, wealth is not an end in itself, but a means to do good in the world. A Jewish person is taught that no matter how much they acquire, they must always be ready to give, whether through charity, mentorship, or simply supporting the needs of those around them. The act of giving is viewed as an investment, not just in the person receiving the gift, but in the giver's own soul. By giving, you not only create positive change in others' lives, but you also elevate yourself. As you apply these principles to your own financial journey, consider how you can cultivate a mindset of financial freedom rooted in ethics, community, and self-sufficiency. How can you create the kind of wealth that allows you to live according to your values without being influenced by the pressures of the world around you? How can you support others in their journey toward prosperity, ensuring that your financial success contributes to the well-being of the community as a whole? This vision of financial freedom is not one of luxury and excess, but of meaningful abundance, a wealth that flows through all areas of life. It's about aligning your actions, your business practices, and your investments with the values that matter most to you. It's about building something that sustains not only your family, but your community, your legacy, and the future of those who will come after you. True financial freedom, as taught by Jewish thinkers, comes from the ability to create a life that reflects your deepest beliefs, one that is grounded in wisdom, compassion, and a sense of responsibility towards others. It is not the absence of struggle, but the capacity to overcome it with grace and integrity. It is the courage to pursue your dreams while helping others pursue theirs, to build businesses that stand the test of time, and to ensure that your wealth serves a higher purpose. The final lesson in this Jewish financial philosophy is the importance of legacy. A true legacy is not built simply on the wealth you leave behind, but on the lives you touch, the lessons you impart, and the communities you build. Wealth may come and go, but the impact you have on others can last forever. Your financial success should be seen not as the culmination of your journey, but as a tool to create a lasting, positive change in the world. When you think about legacy, think beyond just material assets. Consider the knowledge you share, the relationships you nurture, and the values you instill in those around you. A true legacy is built on the foundation of strong ethical choices and a commitment to leaving the world a better place than you found it. Whether through business, charity, or personal mentorship, your legacy will be the measure of the true wealth you have created in your life. So as you move forward, ask yourself, how can you build a financial future that is not just about accumulating wealth, but about creating a meaningful legacy? How can you ensure that your wealth serves others, that it contributes to the greater good, and that it helps build a world
that reflects the values you hold most dear. The Jewish financial mindset teaches us that true success is not about what we accumulate, but about what we give, what we share, and the impact we have on others. It is about living with purpose, integrity, and a deep sense of responsibility, not just to ourselves, but to the world around us.